Hey there friends, and welcome back to another video. And I wish this was a better topic today, but there has been a lot of doom and gloom in the community right now with the Steam numbers, as well as WB themselves saying that they were disappointed in the performance of the game. Today we're going to be basically talking about that, but also what I think WB and Rocksteady need to do to save this game. And I really hope they do see this, because they really do need to do something, even if it's not exactly what I say here. Now, obviously, the Steam numbers being so low is a big deal, but it isn't quite as bad as you might think. Due to the list of best performing games on PlayStation and the game right beneath it announcing that they sold 1 million copies, we do know that at least 1 million copies were sold on PlayStation, and it's likely that Xbox is somewhere in between 1 million and 300,000 copies, which obviously for a AAA game, this isn't very good, but it's still much better than a lot of people are thinking, especially considering the campaign against the game both pre-launch and post-launch. Talked a good amount about that stuff on the review and stuff, the whole hate against the game. We're not going to get into that today. Obviously, this doesn't mean anything about how many people are currently playing the game, but the thing is that this isn't a type of live service game where you are going to be playing constantly. It is a story-based game, and because of that, once you've finished the story, you're not going to just be playing it a bunch. Some people are going to be playing and trying to get all the different gear and stuff, but once you get that stuff, you're not going to keep playing it for a long time. So it definitely makes sense why it has dropped a lot. Obviously, though, that maybe was a reason why this wasn't the most perfect choice to have a live service game, because story-based games aren't a game that you want to be playing over and over. But it makes sense that WB obviously isn't happy. This game took a lot of money to make, and even if we said Steam and Xbox sold 1 million copies as well, that's only 3 million total, which is not great. Spider-Man 2, which obviously is a much different game, sold 2.5 million in one day as a console exclusive. Hogwarts Legacy, WB's last game, has sold 24 million copies. So seeing somewhere around 1 to 3 million is obviously going to be a big disappointment for them. So what does this actually mean for the game? And spoilers, because I kind of have to talk about story-related stuff. Some people have gone as far as saying everything after Season 1 is going to be canceled. Some people have said Season 1 is going to be canceled, which is obviously not going to happen. And it's most likely that the after Season 1 stuff will not be canceled either. A lot of work has already been put into the post-launch, and I don't see them throwing that away, at least not yet. WB has already put too much money into the game for them to pull the plug already. However, if the game doesn't make a miraculous comeback like Battlefront 2 did, it probably won't go on much longer than a year to a year and a half, which would kind of line up with killing 2 Brainiacs a season like we've been thinking, totaling out at 6 seasons. But if things don't go well, I could also see them rushing and throwing in 3 Brainiacs in Season 3 and 3 Brainiacs in Season 4 just to finish it off. Now, WB can save this game, but they have to start communicating again. Pre-launch, the communication for this game was great, and we got multiple Q&As. The devs talked constantly about stuff, but the longer it's been since launch, the less we've heard about the game, and the more we've needed them to say something. There's so much backlash right now for the game, a lot of it to do with the story, and it's honestly time that they just show that the league is in fact returning, and that that's been the plan from the beginning. The more they leave things up to question, the more people are going to assume the worst with the game, and they need to just release things like trailers for the new season and start showing that they care and they do in fact have a plan. Now, they need to fix the issues with the game as well, because obviously a lot of people are not even able to play still, and as well as the mastery level issues. But what the game really needs is them to just sit down and say, here's everything coming in Season 1, all the new mission types, enemies, weapons, everything. And then they need to just outright confirm the other season's characters, like Deathstroke, Mrs. Freeze, etc., as well as any other stuff that they have planned, because while in most situations, it's best to let fans guess and not know until the right times, right now, what we need is for them to show as much as possible to not only win those they've lost with the game's lack of communication, but also hopefully get more people interested overall. Another thing is to just cut the price. I know this may sound weird, and if you've bought the game, you will probably feel ripped off, but I'll get to that in a minute. Games are really expensive, okay? Everything is expensive right now. People have less money in general, especially to be spending on video games, and $70 is a lot. And even though I do think it's worth the price, the game would be much more profitable if they just cut the price somewhere between $50 to $30. This would help get more people playing the game, help people learn how the game actually feels to play, and get more good word of mouth. And obviously, the game has cosmetics. The more people who own the game, the more potential there is for people to buy stuff like that. But what about all the people who already spent $70 or $100 on this game? Well, give them some founder/early adopter bonuses and a bunch of Lex coins or something, because it's really necessary that they do drop this price. But at the same time, they do need to do something like that to make it up to the people who have been there since the start. So I found this out after recording the video, but apparently the game is actually on sale, the deluxe edition right now on PlayStation Store, and I believe the normal edition is on sale depending on where you look too. So maybe that's a good sign. Now, there's also other smaller things that can be done to help promote this game. Old games used to have this thing where if you had 2 games, you could unlock something in another game. So why not let people who own Suicide Squad get the Batman suit from the game in Arkham Knight? Multiverses is coming back soon, so why not have Harley and the other characters that are also in that game get a free costume in that if you own Suicide Squad? You know, you'd be surprised how much something like this little cross-promotion could really help the game. And I do not in any way think that this is going to happen this next one, but a lot of people have been completely unable to play the game. And I think a really good show of faith for the game would be not only to completely refund the cost of the game for those people who've had these issues, but also to just let them keep the game as well. The amount of time it's been unplayable is insane, and this would not only show players that you care, but give some good publicity for the game as well. This game's not perfect, but it is good, and it has the potential to be amazing, if it just could have some time to get started and find its footing. I don't know. What do you guys think about these ideas, the current state of the game? No matter what happens, I'll be playing this game and covering it till the very end, so if you want to see that, like and subscribe. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video, and I will see you guys all next time. Goodbye.